are live.
Okay.
Okay.
Big topic of the conversation is what?
You don't attract unavailable love on accident.
Okay. So we don't attract unavailable love on accident. So for reference, like what would unavailable love look like?
I think it might be a little different for everyone because are you an anxious attachment? Are you an avoidant attachment? What is that mirror holding up to you?
But like, I mean, those are like keywords that of people that are like in deep personal development mode. Not everyone even knows what those attachments are.
Okay.
So like, what would be like an example of unavailable love? Like, how would that show up physically?
Someone's words and actions not aligning.
Yeah. Okay. So someone's words and actions not aligning. Now, if you were to attract that, like, what would that mean to you?
I mean, I think to me, it would show that there's something in me that's not healed, that's attracting that. But again, that's diving deeper into the childhood like wounds that I have. Maybe it's that person growing up that you always gave a second chance to, that you always wish would or thought would be something different. You saw their potential. When you hear words, you think potential. But if their actions aren't aligning, all you have is the image that you created in your head of what they could be.
Yeah, it's hard to not fantasize about someone's potential when you're someone that always sees the good in someone. It gets really easy to ignore the bad. And it's like you have to also understand on a deeper level, like that person, like how far back does this person's thoughts and actions go to? Is it their childhood? Okay, at 25, 26, 27 plus years old, maybe they're not going to change that if they haven't already unpacked that. Or maybe you need to be more diligent with your time if you've already done that work. Or maybe it's something that would just happen off their previous relationship that, okay, you could probably work through.
And consistency, right? I feel like that's one of the key things in a relationship. But if you express something and you become vulnerable and they pull away, right? That's unavailable love because they can't hold space for your emotions. And there's a difference between, I would say, like trauma dumping and then really expressing something that hurt you and hoping that the person that you care about can hold that space.
Yeah. And too, you're saying like pulling away. It's also an opportunity as well. Like if you did attract that, let's just say like in your previous 2 relationships and you've learned from the last one, it's like maybe you've also learned how to communicate towards that avoidant, but also give that avoidant an opportunity to either run or stay. Help them like recognize what's going on as well. Because like at the end of the day, you are partners, right? It'd be nice to like go in a relationship where someone's completely healed, done all those the personal development work, and you're on the same page. But like most times, that's just not going to be the case. But is that person does that person have the availability to listen and to understand? Okay, she's putting out something in me, and if I can actually sit back in my body and realize what I had said and what I had done, okay, I can see what she's saying. Okay, no, let me go forward with her. That's the thing too. It's like an opportunity to, okay, I've learned from the past. Let me communicate different, see different result. Because it's one thing to like find yourself in the same situation, but are you going to do the same thing in a situation? Because sometimes like it's not like about, oh, I'm seeing this same type of person, I'm just going to run too. You're no better. You're no better. All you can do, all you owe yourself is to give it an opportunity to point out something and then see what happens from there. Now, if it happens over and over again, okay. Now, are you going to be the same? Are you going to stay longer than you should have?
And I truly believe that 2 people can heal together in a relationship, but you both have to be open.
Yeah.
And now, what do you think about this concept? Because, you know, in the healing journey, doing some psychology of relationships, if a man isn't where he needs to be in life, do you think he can be present in a relationship?
I do, as long as he's with the right person.
Okay.
That is all. Like
So
if you're with someone that expects you to be somewhere you're not and you're not there, that's ultimately good. If it's also going to make you feel insecure if you are like stuck on being with her. Now, if you are meeting someone and you're getting to know each other and she wants you to be somewhere you're not and you're not there and you're not super attached to the outcome with that person, then it's not going to bother you. But if you're trying to hold on to these two realities, but one person wants that reality to happen now when you know you're not there and it's going to take some time and you can't communicate that, hey, I'm not there. This is my process. This is how I'm going to get there. If you can't communicate that, she doesn't know where you're trying to go either. So a part of you has to take the responsibility if you're not communicating that.
do you think some of it stems from like a fear of not being enough or not being good enough?
I think inevitably it has to a point. I think everyone's different. So depending on situations, childhood and stuff like that. But like I think just the nature of human, right, is to compete. So if you see another man further along than you are at your age, you don't know the resources he had, you don't know opportunities he's had. So I think it's easy to start comparing yourself. But as far as feeling like enough, I think to a point, just because like it's natural to compete. And if you see someone that has something that you don't have, it feels like, oh, they're better than you. But like, what is better than you? Like, in what way? Maybe in career, but like, as in a relationship, you show up as a better man. Are you going to be a better father, better emotional provider, safe place? Like, there's so many different aspects of a relationship. So it's like you're unfairly judging yourself based off of just one small point when you're not looking at the full picture.
I think that's a great point to
Yeah.
bring up of just, yeah, we're comparing ourselves to the one thing maybe we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, who you are as a person matters so much more than anything else. And I know it's hard because, right, men are supposed to provide. They're supposed to be able to protect and provide for a woman. And when a man can't or isn't at a point in his life where he feels like he can do that, I can understand feeling fear, maybe shame, not being good enough. But me as a woman, I look at that as like, let's go get it.
Right.
Like, let's go make those dreams happen.
Right.
For me, I don't care that you're not there yet, but how do you treat me?
Sure.
Can you show up with emotional availability? Can you show up when I need you? But just because you're not where you want to be in life, let's get it together.
Yeah. I don't know. I think too, like, I could just never understand men that just don't desire or that would go after a partner that doesn't have that mindset. Like, if you're not there, oh, well, nah. Like, if she were to respond like that, like, oh, dodged a bullet, thank God. Like, even if I did have it, like, I just want still a woman with that mindset. It's not a woman that thinks you just need to have everything and you don't know each other, you don't owe each other nothing. It's just like, you aren't looking to be my partner. You're looking to be a leech or just tag along for the ride because of what I have and things I could provide for you.
But then you don't attract unavailable love on accident.
Right.
So if you're attracting those girls and going for those girls, it's like, hey, you gotta look inward.
Right.
There's something.
And too, like, it's a thing to attract a wide array. But like, if you don't have the ability to like see through the superficial, then hey, keep on learning from those bad relationships that keep on happening.
You will get the same person over and over and over again in the same relationship until you actually learn why you attract that.
Yeah.
But you have to be open to understanding why, or start building that awareness of like, this is my pattern and this is what I can do for it.
Yeah. And just I like the point earlier just about the answer is not always you see a red flag and you run. It's just like trying different things, because like there can be learning. Maybe y'all don't end up together, but like there's so many things you can learn from just trying something different that you haven't tried in the past. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does, then great. That's the result you wanted anyways. And
maybe healing looks like you don't notice the red flag right away,
Mhm.
but you notice it quicker this time.
Sure.
And you choose to walk away after you see it because you know patterns.
Right.
Maybe it's seeing a red flag, bringing it up, having that conversation that maybe you were afraid to have last time,
Right.
and being vulnerable. And if that doesn't go well, then you choosing yourself and walking away. It's not necessarily, oh, I see this red flag and boom, I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's being a little more open, being a little more curious, and having that conversation. But at the end of the day, patterns are patterns.
Yeah.
And they show up everywhere.
Sure.
And they show up in a lot of relationships. So it comes down to finding two people that want to make it work and understanding that no one's perfect. But at the same time, you got to listen to your nervous system, because that pattern, if you've never listened to your nervous system before, it will keep showing up. Your body will feel so unsafe.
Yeah. And then if you're with a partner that doesn't know how to regulate their own, or understand how to help their partner regulate their nervous system, then it's not going to happen. Like if you don't make each other feel safe, or I feel like I can't talk about like my emotions or feelings, like I'm not going to do that. And already the world tells you like, oh, like, don't show your emotions as a man, don't cry as a man, all that stuff. Like if I feel like you're in that same headspace, then I'm not going to do that around you. So then when I have issues, like I'm just going to bottle it up until I break, and then I react in a way that I didn't want to react.
I think you just hit on a key point of what does unavailable love come up as? Silence.
Mm-hmm.
Walking on eggshells.
Right.
Feeling like you can't say anything because it will be a huge fight, or you're afraid that they'll react in one way. Right. Silence is
the fear of compromise too.
Yeah.
Fear of compromise, because if you compromise, you feel like you're gonna, like you're like lowering your standard, or you're reverting back to your old ways. So you hold the line so hard that you're not even a team anymore. You're really just drifting apart, and you're getting stuck in your own ways. And then you look up 6 months later, and it's like, oh, boom, I don't know you. Oh, I actually don't like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we fell out of love.
Yeah.
We didn't fall into love anymore. We stopped choosing each other. We stopped being a team, partner, common goal. Any player on football team, soccer team, you have one goal, one vision. You might be black, you might be white, you like this music, that, it doesn't matter. Our goal is this, we're working together to get that. But as soon as that vision is not aligned, then the team breaks up.
Yeah. I think that's why they say love is not always enough. You can love someone, but doesn't make it always enough, because you have to choose to love someone every single day.
Mm-hmm.
But love's just not always enough.
Yeah. I mean, it can't be, because it's not always present too in the relationship. Like before y'all even got to the point where y'all felt in love, there wasn't love there, right? But there was common goals. Y'all had similar interests. Y'all were building connections through experiences and stuff like that. But then you finally get the love with it, but then you let those other things go. And it's like, well, the thing that allowed us to get here is no longer here. Oh, love is an outcome, not an income, not an input. So in order to get the output I want, I need to put in the inputs consistently. In order to grow my bank account, I got to go to work. I can't get the money, stop going to work, and then expect the money to stay there. It doesn't happen that way.
Complacency.
Yeah.
People don't
invest anymore.
Yeah.
No
dates.
Yeah.
No flowers, no letters. And again, it's not about always a gift, but it's the effort behind it of, hey, you know what I was thinking? Let's take some time for ourselves. Let's cook dinner together and spend some quality time. No phones, no nothing. Good music, candlelit, just a vibe. But it's that effort to make it known of like, hey, I want to connect. I want to rekindle. I want to build on this relationship, but people get lazy.
Yeah. Lazy, and then sometimes like life just be lifing.
That's true. That is very true. The thing is,
I think in any healthy relationship, especially when you feel yourself like truly falling for that person, you see a future with that person, is to like set a standard for y'all's relationship to where maybe life does get busy, but like at the very least, like when times are good and things are going smooth, when we have all the time in the world, maybe we go on a date every, like twice a week or every single week, but a standard. There's not a single month where we don't go on a date or something like that. Like establish standards in the relationship, and then you do not break from that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might be more, but it's no less than the minimum at the end of the day.
And when you feel it slipping, you have to bring it up in a conversation of like, hey, we made these boundaries and
Right.
we kind of had this pact. We're slipping.
Right.
And
It's accountability.
yeah.
At the end of the day.
Oof.
So it's like all.
Oof, that word.
People are right. People are right. What was the topic that we were talking about at the track about accountability?
Oh, the hot take?
The hot take. I mean, if it seems, if it goes in the conversation now, we can put it now.
Oof, okay, I have a hot take of women don't actually take accountability for themselves.
And what's a way that you have seen that either in yourself or maybe friends?
I think when I think about it, I think about the social media of men ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming from a hurt place.
Right.
It's coming from women who have been hurt by men, but they're attracting the same men over and over and over again because they refuse to look inwards.
Right.
And they refuse to heal the parts of them that are actually attracting these men. So then when you say men ain't shit, it's like, no, there's actually some really amazing men out there.
Sure.
But you're not taking accountability for yourself, how you show up, and what you want for your life.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, in a way too, it's a man should provide, but I should be able to provide on my own as well.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have to rely on a man to pay my bills, to provide, and whatever that looks like, because at the end of the day, nothing is guaranteed. So if they walk away and I'm left with nothing,
Mm-hmm.
what good is that? So for me, I need to provide for myself, not to say at a time if my husband makes a lot more money and, I can take a little step back from work, raise my kids. Amazing. But at the end of the day, I'm not in a relationship just so I can get provided for everything to get paid for. I'm looking at it as we're building a life together, like an empire. And so I think when I speak about like women not taking accountability, it's just if you have that outlook, such a negative outlook on men, you need to look inward because that's just coming from a hurt place because
Right.
you've been hurt before by a man.
And there's so many women too, just in the world in general, that don't feel that way. So it's like something's not right. If that's
Yeah.
truly how you feel, like something's not right. But there's other women that have great love or a good relationship with men. And it's like when you say like the men ain't shit culture, like when or what topics come to mind when you hear men ain't shit? Like why do women say that?
Oof. I mean, I think it just comes down to experience, what they've gone through, childhood trauma. Like maybe they had a dad that was never present. Maybe they saw their dad treat their mom terribly. And maybe that's the love that they might have accepted growing up in the present moment. I just think it's very specific on people's experience, but I could take my experience and I could say men ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Me and my ex didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through some shit. I could have that outlook, but I refuse to because I know there are so many good men out there, and just my friends, like some of my guy friends, like, man, they're so amazing.
Yeah.
And I've seen relationships flourish and work, and my parents have been married for over 30 years, and my dad remarried my mom because he couldn't give her the wedding that she wanted at the time because they weren't making money like that. And so for me, I'm a hopeless romantic. I've seen it, I believe it, and I could have that outlook, but I choose not to, right?
Yeah. I mean, because inevitably, what is it really? How much is that going to help you? Like, if your end goal is I want to be married, I want to have kids, like, what is your current mindset doing for the end goal that you want at the end of the day?
And if you have such a negative outlook, guess who you're going to attract?
Right. Or if you happen to attract the right man somehow, some way, but that's your mindset, that man will run so fast.
You'll never see it.
If you attracted the right guy, he probably has the right mindset. And if you have the wrong mindset, as the right guy should, run.
Yeah.
If you're not healed. Men ain't shit. You're still hung up on the baggage of your past. I'm not. I'm ready to go. So we either drop that mentality or
Yeah.
I'm out the door.
You're not going to be able to keep them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess if you're a woman out there, like, honestly, it's the perfect situation to look inwards. Like, if you have any of these negative emotions, and yes, I'm sorry that you got screwed over and you got hurt, you got lied to, you got cheated on, you were in a domestic violence situation. Like, I'm so sorry that any of that has happened. But if you feel that you really do have a negative outlook, this is your first step to ask why, and then to look into yourself.
Sure.
And I think also it goes to the point of, you can look at it as like, hey, the love you created or the love that you experienced, it was very real.
Right.
And it doesn't take away that the love wasn't real, but you created the love. Right. You created the softness. You created the beauty and what it could have been. And I think that's so magical. Like, I think that's so special to know that you create the love and just don't let anyone harden that.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, you're changing the person that you are based on a situation that you never should have been in. And I also like to think of just the example of, like, what's your favorite restaurant? You say your favorite restaurant. Okay, go look at the reviews. Even at your favorite restaurant, there's bad reviews from bad experiences, but it doesn't make the restaurant bad. So don't allow someone's poor plate to mess up your palate for the next person at the end of the day. And two, it's like just having a better outlook, like overall, get like a full picture overview that, like, it's not men ain't shit. It's not a men thing. It's a person thing. That person wasn't shit in that time. And that person could have made a mistake. Not to say, like, you forgive them and move on with them, but at the very least, forgive them for yourself and move on. But, I forgot what I was going with that. It's just like getting a bigger picture on the fact that it was that person. It's not a men thing. It's not a women thing. And also, it takes two to tango. There was also a woman on the other side of that equation that wasn't shit too, because she probably knew about the situation that she was interrupting. So it was two people making two bad decisions. Does not make everyone bad.
I was just gonna say, and on the other end, the women ain't shit either. There's a bunch of great women, amazing women out there. Right. It works on both sides.
Sure. But
I think what you just said is perfect. It's just like, in that time, in your relationship, you were two people that probably were really hurt. Doesn't make either of you a bad person. And I'm not making it, there's exceptions, but for the majority,
reasonable.
Yeah, it doesn't make either you a bad person. It just makes you the wrong person for each other.
Sure.
And people can change.
Yeah. And you had a bad moment doesn't make you a bad person. I heard like this example a long time ago about like the stain on the shirt. Have you ever heard that? So it's like, this could be like a cashmere polo freaking $1,000 shirt, but I have one little stain. Does that make the entire shirt bad? It's just a stain. And with enough washes, it'll probably come out. But it doesn't make the shirt bad. Or you're focused like on this beautiful shirt, but you're just focused on the stain. Okay. I think that you're probably the wrong person for me if you're just focused on the stain, but not the entire shirt.
But I think that goes into a long-term relationship when you just start focusing on all the bad. And it fills your brain.
Yeah.
You start looking at the negative. You start looking at what, like, all the wrong. I wish this. I wish that. I wish that. What about all the good they're doing?
Right.
But that's where your mindset has to shift. If you constantly think in a negative state, you're always going to pick up on those little things. You're always going to pick up on the stain. But if we can come from a positive mindset or a glass half full
Mhm.
instead of a glass half empty, your whole world changes.
Yeah, and also just it's very normal. So normalize it in your brain that there's a stain on every shirt. What human hasn't spilled something on their shirt? It's like, okay, have you not spilled something?
All the time.
All the freaking time. So it's normal.
Yeah. Okay, so now I have a question for you. Might get a little personal, but not too personal. I mean, what is your biggest fear in a relationship?
Biggest fear in a relationship? I think inevitably just marrying the wrong person.
Mm.
So I think if the way that would happen is if someone didn't truly show up someone didn't show up as their true self. So that could have been a them thing, or it could have been if me thing that I didn't allow the space for that person to show me their true self to where they didn't feel comfortable, or that they just haven't done enough self work and personal development to be comfortable in their own skin. And then they finally get comfortable 10 years in and they're someone completely different. Hobbies different, interests are different, what attracts them is different. Now, it might change a little bit just as you progress through time. That's different. But like a complete 180, no. That didn't just change. That's who you were at the end of the day. And now you're servicing it. But at the end of the day, you never know either until you get into that situation.
Mm.
Yeah. I think there's just ways of checking in with someone too, just to make sure that like they're comfortable with being themselves around you, like asking probing questions or like deep questions like that too, to like get a true perspective. Because like that's not like a natural question for most relationships, right? What's your biggest fear in a relationship?
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of guys are scared, not scared, but don't ask a question like that. I think more women would ask that. So I think a guy should ask the girl he's dating or courting, especially before getting married, like what's her biggest fears, because that could tell you a lot. Like what would be your biggest fear?
I have two. One is that I settle.
What does settling look for you?
For me, it's settling for less than I deserve.
Mm-hmm.
Again, because in the past I have settled,
mm-hmm.
but when I've settled, it was because of my anxious attachment. It was because I never felt good enough. I always felt too much, too emotional, like just too much for someone.
Mm-hmm.
So I settled just because I wanted to feel wanted.
Mm.
I let people walk all over my boundaries. I let people disrespect me. And, I settled for no dates, like no date nights, no flowers, no small things. I'm a simple person. Sure. You could be like, hey, let's go look at the stars. But as long as we have that quality time and that effort there, I'm so happy. I just want to look at the stars and spend time with the partner that I love. But I settled for someone who never really saw me. Yeah. And I'm afraid to settle for someone because of my wounds. Because that's what I've done in the past.
Yeah. And some of that was like things you can control, some of it wasn't. So I think it's easier to not fear things that are in your control, but the things that are not in your control is scary, because like it's easy to show up a certain way at the start of the relationship, but then as time progresses, you see someone get comfortable, and do they still treat you the same when they get comfortable? And if they stop treating you the same, like how do you address that? Or if you do address it and then it's just nothing, it's like, oh shit, here we go again.
Yeah, and you stay and you get comfortable because it's familiar, right. But it's a familiar wound that you're comfortable with. Right. And so your body just wants to stay. And so I think that goes along with the fear of repeating the same cycle over and over again.
Okay, so another hot take.
All right.
So men say that they want peace, right?
Not funny.
Say again?
He said not funny.
Not funny. they want peace. Peace from a woman? Yeah, right. No, men say they want peace, but often don't create the space for a woman to be peaceful.
Ooh,
They are creating a storm in the environment they want to live in.
that's a good one.
So, like, for you, maybe you've experienced it, or maybe you could just think of like a man saying that, but like, what would be a way that would make you feel like you could be peaceful or at peace in a relationship?
I could.
Yeah.
I think it just comes down to emotionally available,
Mm-hmm.
like emotionally consistent, consistency. Again,
I like the word emotional available because like a lot of people say that, but like, what does that mean to you?
being able to hold space
Mm-hmm.
for a conversation or for whatever I want to talk about and bring up, and be able to not react,
Mm-hmm.
but listen. We don't always need a solution.
Yeah.
Men are very solution focused. Women are driven by emotion. And so, as a woman, if you can sit and hold the space for me to let some of my emotion out without a solution, to me, that's all I need.
Mm-hmm.
But most men can't have that conversation or hold that space.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to be able to handle a woman's storm, but you also don't have to take, I don't want to say like abuse, but at a time as a woman, I can't just throw my emotions at you all the time. I can't have you embrace my storm 24/7, right? There becomes a point where that starts getting to be a little bit of like an emotional abuse.
Sure.
But it's being able to not make me feel like I have to walk on eggshells, or if something hurts me, I can't communicate that with you.
Mm-hmm.
But also, as a woman, how am I communicating that with you? Am I screaming? Am I getting all hot and bothered, yelling, throwing things, accusing you, attacking you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So how I communicate that really matters. But if I come to you in a way that is well communicated and you still can't hold that space, you're never going to have peace.
Yeah. And I think too, like, yeah, women are more wired to be emotional, men are more wired to be logical, but it's not like we don't have the opposing traits. So it's like, with us knowing that when you're communicating to a woman or you're communicating to a man, it's okay to also mix in a little logic. It's okay to mix in a little emotion if I'm needing to convey something or show understanding in something. Like if my girlfriend is trying to display her emotions, when I respond back, there's no point of me responding in a pure logical sense. Like, I could resonate with her feelings, make sure I understand like the emotion of it, and then maybe at the end I tie in some logic to make it clear on my understanding. And as long as she has a space for a little bit of logic, and when I rephrase at the end with the logic, if she can tell me if that makes sense or not, or she gets it, then we both get what we want. Emotional understanding, logical understanding. Because if I can, as a man, if I can make logical understanding of it, I will probably not make the same mistake again. But if it's all emotional, it's going to be hard for me too, because I just don't think in that way, and vice versa.
You have to reprogram the way you think.
Yeah.
Again, it kind of comes down to that compromise, right? Mm-hmm. We both have to compromise. One, the way that I communicate my emotions to you without you feeling attacked or like you're not good enough. Like, this problem is an attack on you. I'm bringing it up because I want us to work. Mm-hmm. It's us versus the problem. It's not me versus you.
Right.
But if I don't communicate it in that way, you're gonna think it's me versus you. And so what good is that either? Like, right. That's not peace. That's not peace for either of us. But as a man, what is peace to you? So when guys say, just be my peace, because honestly, when I hear that, I think, all right, I just have to shut up. I can't bring anything up. I have to walk on eggshells. I can't be my loving, caring, emotional being. So what is peace to a man?
I think I've never said that, but I think where that would come from is if someone was with a partner that was seemingly always emotional, it kind of reverts back to what I said. Is like, help me understand you, because I don't. You're speaking Spanish to me. You're speaking Spanish. I don't know Spanish. You're speaking just emotional. I don't get it. So if I don't get it, I can't help avoid it. So I don't even realize I'm causing the storm because you're not allowing me to understand you. And I don't understand how you're communicating with me. Mm-hmm. That's how, like, if I were asking for peace, it would just be like, every single thing that we talk about turns into an argument. But, like, I'm causing the argument. I don't even realize it, though. Because you're not telling me nothing. You're just reacting to what's occurring.
I've been in that cycle. It is so hard to get out of it.
Yeah. And, like, I mean, maybe you don't want to go into specifics, but, like, what did that cycle look like for you?
So, I will admit, I feel at one point I used to start a fight just to know that they cared. And so I would bring up the most smallest thing. It meant nothing. Like, in relative, it had no importance to the relationship. But I brought it up because I wanted to see if he would still fight for the relationship. So to me, if you fought with me, that meant you cared. Right. Unhealed version.
Sure.
Totally see it from leaving the relationship of like, okay, I caused some of that, but I was emotional. But it was just a bid for connection. But that cycle of, because after I used to do that, anything I brought up that were major, it kind of went out the ear. Like it went in one ear, out the other, because
we argue about everything. It doesn't matter.
Right? Exactly.
You don't understand the gravity of the situation because you're always arguing or nitpicking about something.
Yeah.
And two, like, it comes down to also understanding. I think it's important to understand attachment styles and personality types too, because that man might be fighting for the wrong reason. He might be fighting because the fear of loss that you just triggered in him. So that's why he's reacting that way. So you're like, oh, he does want me. No, he just doesn't want to feel lost. It could be you. It could be someone else. It doesn't matter. He just doesn't want to lose. So he's fighting.
Yeah.
But in your head, oh, he loves me. He loves me. Okay, never mind.
But yeah, like, when you say it in that way, it sounds so messed up.
Yeah.
Like, it does.
Because you are both doing it for the wrong reason. You're fighting because you want to feel love. He's trying to get you because he just doesn't want to lose.
Exactly. And then with him, in my experience of like my relationship, he would go ghost. Like, he needed his space. So he would pull away. Mm-hmm. And if he was upset, it would be like, I need 2 or 3 days.
I didn't mean to react. I'm someone that, like, I want to talk immediately.
Me too. Yeah. But that's actually, I've learned that's not always the best either.
Yeah, for sure. If you are a reactive person, it's not the best. But if you can stay calm and control, I think if you can control your volume and tonality, it'll help a lot. If you don't focus on volume and tone, you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
And really good at not cutting each other off. It's like, I seen someone, I don't know, it might have been another podcast actually. They were talking about just like relationship advice, and it was handing off a microphone. So like, it was like they're using a brush, but it's like, if you don't have the brush, you're not talking. And if you have the brush, you have the floor. So
yeah,
it might turn into a tug of war.
Yeah, giving that person the space to have the floor and listening to understand, not to react.
Yeah, and understand is a great word, because there's been times where I've been in arguments to where that person is getting like triggered, or like I can see they're elevating, but they're elevating based off of something that I didn't say or mean. So it's like, I'm not trying to cut you off, but you're about to get really mad off of not what I was saying. So don't, if you do get mad, please get mad off of what I'm actually saying at the very least. But if you're arguing this way, when I'm talking this way, like, there's not going to be a resolution, or you're going to go on a tangent just for me to tell you that's not what I meant. And it's like,
And then you're not going to believe it.
or you believe it, but it's just like, oh, well, now I'm pissed, so I can't calm down now.
Yeah.
So then the conversation's lost anyways. So
and then you have to talk about it again, and then it's just this cycle.
Another solution.
Relationships are hard.
They are. They're dynamic. They're like
so
they can't
hard.
stay the same.
No.
And life changes. Maybe you're changing your job, so you have new coworkers, different crowd, completely different career. So you're changing your entire lifestyle. Like, it changes. You change as a person.
Yeah.
Interests. You have kids. Body changes. You're getting older. Body changes. Aging. People losing family members. You're emotional. You can't show up at that time. Okay, how am I going to compensate for her to hold the space, or him to compensate for the space? So it is work, but it's like, at the end of the day, is the outcome worth it?
Yeah.
Is like it with end goal in mind. I think that we always have to remind ourselves of where we're trying to get to. But if you don't remember your why, everyone talks about that, knowing your why, then it's going to be hard to push through the hardship. Because it's coming. That's part of it. Part of it.
And you probably already went through some of it.
Yeah, oh, for sure. It's like, what is happiness without sadness? You won't respect or be grateful enough for happiness unless there's sadness. If you're happy all the time, then it's normal. What's normal? Indifferent. Who wants to be indifferent?
Wait, I love the happiness and sadness. I love what you just said there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, without happiness, there is no sadness. Yeah. And that puts it into perspective.
Yeah, it allows you to feel the emotion.
Yeah.
Without it, that's just a word. But because you've experienced, or what's rich without poor?
Yeah.
Like living on the street versus living on a block with all your family. Like, that won't even feel as good if everyone had that, or if money wasn't a thing. Like, it was just an expectation. I'm not saying we wouldn't be happy, but you wouldn't understand, you wouldn't be as appreciative unless you came from nothing or wasn't given anything. You had to work your way from the bottom, because hardship, what you had to go through, the trials, tribulations, all that stuff, to where you finally get that carrot at the end. Like, okay, I didn't think I was into veggies, but the way I had to work for that carrot, I kind of do. Call me Bugs Bunny, because it's worth it.
They're all organic.
Yeah. Whole Foods. Got Trader Joe carrots. I used to eat Walmart carrots. Now I'm eating Trader Joe's. Oh, we made it.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, love is worth it.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not the love in the sense of marriage, but you can love your friends. Mm. You can love the people around you. You can be kind. You can shine from the inside out, right? So love doesn't always have to be, you don't always have to experience love with a relationship. If marriage is something you don't want and you'd rather be single, you can still experience love every day.
Right. And it could be just loving yourself too.
Oof.
And you don't know how good that feels until you have it.
I think that rolls into, what is your baseline?
What is my baseline?
Because I feel a lot of people don't know how good they can feel until they feel it. But to get to that good, you're going to have to get uncomfortable.
But then, how, when you say that, what does that mean towards, your baseline? Because you're talking about good, you're talking about uncomfort, but what's that in between?
I mean, I guess it depends on, are you looking at, it could go fitness related, right? Mm-hmm. Diet. Mm-hmm. If you're eating fast food all the time, not eating anything healthy, not working out, you don't realize that your body's working at 20% capacity.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how good you can feel
Right.
until you stop eating that fast food. You start getting in the gym, lifting the weights, doing some cardio. And then you realize my body can actually do more. And I feel amazing.
Right. I think it gets easier too to stick to a baseline or elevate that baseline too once you do make that shift. But it's like, I think you should have standards in like every single aspect of your life. So like for me, my standard is, I'm not gonna lie, I still have some fast food every once in a while, but I don't have it during the week. That's the standard that I stick to. Now people ask like, oh, like that's being like really disciplined. Like how do you get so disciplined? There's a part, there's like the point at the start where yes, you have to just be disciplined. But once, like you said, you stop, once you start eating a bunch of fast food, you feel like crap. And you just don't want to feel that way anymore. It's not about you being disciplined or, oh, I just don't eat fast food. Like, no, I don't want to be tired. Like, I'm not eating it. I love the taste. Don't get me wrong. Go to freaking Wendy's, any type of fast food joint, I'll eat it. But like, I don't want to feel like that. I don't like the outcome. So with outcome and focus, I don't like the outcome of that. But doesn't mean that I can't every once in a while enjoy the things.
Yeah,
It's just having a standard, having a baseline.
You can indulge for sure. But media, what are you constantly viewing?
Right.
What are you reading? What are you listening to?
What have you normalized in your brain as normal? Because people like send or talk about things that pop up on like the social media. Like, I never see that stuff ever. But it's like the more you view it, the algorithm's gonna feed it to you. Now it's becoming your baseline. Oh, did you see that guy with his head chopped off? No, that's not normal to me. That's not my baseline. I'm sorry. I don't go through emotional trauma scrolling through my social media. I see fitness, maybe some car stuff. That's my baseline.
No Andrew Tate.
I used to see Andrew Tate a lot. I think everyone's seen Andrew Tate, whether you wanted to or not. Yeah, that was crazy. That was the era. Whatever marketing strategy he had, that was
great,
genius.
Fantastic.
He had like probably like 50,000 influencers just posting stuff. I'm like, okay, that was smart. I should have thought of that.
But no, what you consume on a daily is your baseline. Again, media, friends, relationships, work.
I like the word diet because like diet doesn't always just refers to like food or like mean food. Just what are you consuming? Like you said, media wise. What are you consuming, music wise? Like for me, I love me some hip hop music. I used to listen to hip hop all the time, but I noticed that like I dialed back my consumption. I was less aggressive in traffic. I was more calm. Now when I'm working out, I'm playing it because that's the mindset I want to be in. It's like it's a tool. All these things are tools. But it's like I didn't want my baseline to be aggressive or short-tempered. So I can't listen to violent music all day and expect to not cuss more that day or react a little more that day. I feel like that's not something a lot of people think of.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if music's ever like affected me, but I don't know.
I mean, try it. Like, I mean, I don't know what you listen to, but like, if you listen to anything like that's aggressive or anything like that, like, try it. Do like a little detox.
Screamo 24/7.
Oh, okay. Probably a detox will do a lot for you. I'll tell you that. You probably have better dreams. You probably smile more in your sleep.
Okay. But actually, you know what? I have noticed that because I like sad boy music, sad girl music, and when I listen to it, I'm like, oh, I'm sad. When I don't listen to it, I'm like, I'm happy. Like,
I'm like that with like politics. I like got really into like political like journalism over the past like 2 years, and it just came along. I'm like, am I going to be sent to war tomorrow? But like, sorry everyone, but I have not been tuning in for the past like 3 months, and I completely forgot that we're still at odds with Iran. It's like, but I'm not thinking of it anymore. It's just like I'm not consuming. It's like it's not occurring. Doesn't mean it's not occurring still, right? But it's like you kind of create your own vacuum, your own bubble. And it's like, is it helping you or hurting you? And at the time, it was making me like, giving me anxiety. Because when I tell you I was consuming probably like 4 hours every day, like I was watching it all day in my free time. And it's like, this is dumb. Like I'm having crazy thoughts, crazy dreams. Nah, I gotta detox.
I do love me some conspiracy theories though.
those are fun though, and less. Or there, some of them are real, right? But it's like things of the past, but not current things.
Yeah.
Like war.
Yeah, it's nothing to really fear.
Yeah.
But yeah. Ever say you want to say a conspiracy theory?
What you got?
We never landed on the moon.
Okay, dive into that. Are you a flat runner? I mean, a flat runner, a flat earther.
I don't know about that, but I think when we said we landed on the moon, we didn't have that technology.
Oh, they're saying we did, but we lost it. That's what they said. But we have
for another day.
but we have iPhones now that were more advanced than the technology of the spaceship. And also, there was a videographer on the moon too to watch us land.
And where is he now?
Who knows? But how did he get there first? So did he not? So did the man that set foot on the moon first not? He wasn't the first man, or was it a videographer, or the little rover, whatever they used?
I don't know. Tune in.
Let
us know your votes.
I honestly haven't dived deep into that, but like it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
But like how did we land on the moon years ago, but then we haven't been back since, and we have better technology, we have AI.
That's what I'm saying.
And with like all the CGI photos, I don't know if like you've seen those, but it's like they look extremely doctored.
Yeah.
Straight off of Google. Yeah, armor's a good one. Like, what is like the concept of armor? It's like, why do we use armor for like? I think of, I don't know why, but my mind goes back to like medieval era, like castles and shit. Like they wore armor so they didn't get stabbed, right? But that's the same concept as like why we start putting on masks and armor. It's just to protect ourselves. But the thing is, like, men didn't always wear armor all day. They wore it to war, like when you needed to. But if you're carrying around armor all day, it's like you get so comfortable in the armor, you don't even know what your skin feels like. You think the armor is you, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get into a relationship where you no longer need the armor and you continue to wear it, it's like we talked about earlier. At some point in that relationship, you're going to take the armor off, and that woman is not going to be attracted to you. Not because you don't have armor, because you're not that person that you showed her for the first 2 years. But it's like, baby, like I'm just comfortable now. Like this is who I am. I don't know you. Have you ever seen like those TikToks of like the men shaving their beard after like 2 years, or like the kids, and the kids are like, baby, I'm your daddy. I'm your man. I don't recognize you. That's what it's gonna be like. But it's just like that's the concept. It's like wearing armor when you need to, but when you don't need to, you need to take the armor off so you don't get comfortable and don't mistake armor as your skin as to who you are.
I see that. And I also see, though, the vulnerability of a man to release that armor. Because I've talked to men and they've said, there was one person in particular, and he was like, there are some things that I'll never let you see because it's so vulnerable to me. And he said, as a man, he should never put me through that. How do you feel about that?
I think that, and this has probably been the thought of mine for like the past like 3 years, I think that vulnerability makes you more of a man because I think it shows that you don't give a fuck about being judged. I think if you're scared of being judged, then it's like you're not as confident as you think. Like if I had something that felt super vulnerable, like I'm not gonna mute myself because I thought another person's gonna judge me. It's truly like I'm confident. I don't care like what you think of me or the situation. But if I allow it to like stop me, I'm only hurting myself, holding it and bottling it in, stopping myself.
I agree, but I do know some women will use that vulnerability and weaponize it.
But that's what I'm saying. As a man that's truly confident, you can't. You
can't care about that.
No, like it's not like I just don't. Like you can't weaponize. A part of a woman or a man weaponizing something against you is you also are giving them permission. I don't give you permission. Like you can say whatever you want, like just think of like back in like high school. Oh, you're ugly. I'm not ugly. Like you could say that, try to use it as a weapon, or call out, oh, your ears are big, your nose. Like I don't care. Like you can only use that as a weapon if I feel that internally, or if I care about your opinion. Now, if I care, that's gonna hurt me. If I'm truly insecure about it, it's gonna hurt me. But like that's on you working through your confidence and just understanding that you're a human, built how you are, and that is what it is. It's not good or bad. Someone can place a bad label on it. I'm not gonna place a label on it. So there is no weaponizing unless you give that person permission to weaponize it.
I love that.
No, because that's something that I've thought of a lot since like vulnerability became like a key word over the past like 3-5 years. And it's like there's no fear in doing that. The only fear is like with you caring about being judged or caring about someone's opinion. Oh, I don't really care. Do you? Because how you're reacting and what you're choosing to not share is showing me that you're not as confident as you think you are.
It's got to be as strong as that armor.
Yeah. Strong as armor. And when I don't need it, I don't need it. Because I know I'm not at risk to getting stabbed. Not by you. Not by you. But when I need it, okay. Doesn't mean I go out and share with the world all these things, but like the people that I care and love, like I can tell them anything. And if they judge me, they judge me. And so be it.
I think being vulnerable is such a strength.
Mm-hmm.
I will never look at that as a weakness.
Yeah. And too, like, I think that people are conflating like you being vulnerable with like you crying, and it's not like there's anything wrong with crying, but like that doesn't mean that. It means just like sharing like how you're feeling.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with expressing how you're feeling.
What a blessing it is to be able to sit right beside someone and hold space for their emotions and go through the mud with them.
Right.
Like be able to actually be there and have them share what they're feeling the most, like their deepest, darkest secrets or all their emotions. Like what a blessing it is to have someone that trusts you that much.
Right. And just again talking about the outcome. It's like the outcome you want is I want to find a person that has this, and this. And whether however you react is just showing me if you're that person. It's not you that I'm so stuck on. It's these traits that I want. And yes, perfect. You happen to have them. You're the partner for me. And if you don't, then it's just not. There's no forcing it though.
Yeah. But it's also too, I think I've learned you can have your perception of like, I want this, but what you think you want might actually show up as something different and you'll miss it.
Like what?
That's like, well, I think one thing that I've learned is sometimes I'm like, oh, they have to do this. But if they have everything else and not this, I'll miss the good.
Sure.
And I also feel like for me too, I'm excited to whoever I end up with or the people I date, like I'm excited to learn more of what I want or what I like. I can say, this is what I want, but if I'm not open to anything else, right, I'm going to miss out because I'm not open. Because if I'm so like, they have to be this, it's like, no, there can be a little flexibility because no one's perfect, but you could also miss out on something that you didn't even know you wanted as a trait or a characteristic or
yeah, something. I think having like a 10 to 15 characteristics you would want, but like 3 to 5 maybe non-negotiables.
Yeah.
So because it's like what we were talking about earlier, is just having like a standard or having a baseline for your relationship. So it's not about having every single trait that you're looking for, because good luck. You might find someone that's 60 if you get lucky.
You're gonna be in space looking for an alien.
No, seriously. We have a better chance landing on the moon for the first time. But yeah, and it's just like you said too, just understanding you're not perfect. So why am I going to expect perfect? Or I'm not perfect. So why am I expect perfection out of someone else too? Like they're more than likely not gonna have every single trait that I desire. And guess what? Shine a light right back on you. You're not so hot yourself either.